Imagine you wake up tomorrow, and suddenly, Earth's gravity disappears. For the next 10 minutes, nothing is pulling you toward the ground. You wouldn't simply start floating peacefully. Cars, water, furniture, dust, and countless other objects would suddenly become weightless. But here's the terrifying question. What happens when those 10 minutes are finally over? The moment gravity disappears, anything that isn't firmly attached to Earth would become weightless. You could jump, and instead of coming back down normally, you'd keep moving upward. Objects inside your house would start floating too. But Earth itself wouldn't suddenly stop spinning. You, the atmosphere, the oceans, and everything around you would still have Earth's existing motion. Gravity disappearing doesn't mean Earth's rotation suddenly stops. Now things get even stranger. Earth's atmosphere is held close to the planet mainly by gravity. Without gravity, the atmosphere would no longer be held down in the same way, and air near the surface would begin expanding outward. You wouldn't instantly see Earth's atmosphere vanish in 10 minutes, but the environment around you would become extremely abnormal, and moving or breathing normally could become difficult. Now imagine the oceans. Billions of tons of water are normally held against Earth's surface by gravity. Remove that force, and the water would no longer behave like a normal ocean. The surface would become unstable, and water would begin moving away from the ground. Huge amounts of water could rise and spread outward, instead of staying neatly inside Earth's oceans. And remember, this would be happening to almost every loose object on the planet at the same time. Now look at a city. Cars could become weightless. Loose objects could float. Dust and debris could rise, and people inside buildings could suddenly lose their normal sense of up and down. But buildings themselves wouldn't automatically fly away, because they're physically connected to the ground and held together by their own structure. The biggest danger would be the massive amount of loose material suddenly losing its normal weight. Now comes the most important part. Imagine that after exactly 10 minutes, gravity suddenly comes back. Everything that had been moving upward or outward would once again respond to Earth's gravity. Floating objects would begin falling. Water that had moved away from the surface would start moving back toward the planet. Anything that had gained significant height could come down with enormous energy. So the moment gravity returns could potentially be just as dangerous as the moment it disappeared. Here's the surprising part. Earth itself would survive. The planet wouldn't explode or suddenly break apart. 10 minutes is an extremely short time on a planetary scale, but the environment around the surface could become chaotic. The atmosphere, oceans, loose objects, vehicles, and people would all have been disturbed. And when gravity returned, Earth would have to deal with all of that motion again. So the planet survives, but life on the surface could face a massive disaster. And here's something most people forget. Gravity isn't just what keeps your feet on the ground. It helps hold Earth's atmosphere and oceans to the planet, and keeps countless objects following predictable paths. Without it, even for a short time, the entire planet's surface environment would become completely different. So if Earth lost gravity for just 10 minutes, you wouldn't simply float. You'd be watching the atmosphere, oceans, cities, and everything around you enter a completely different physical world. But now imagine something even crazier. What if the moon suddenly disappeared for 24 hours? The consequences might surprise you.